Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Great Androids Anonymous Association's production of Hamlet. However, due to the underwhelming budget we were provided, we do not have more than one actor, any music, or any props. Regardless, let us begin. Act 1, Scene 1. Enter Bernardo and Francisco, two sentinels. Bernardo. Who's there? Francisco. Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself, you origami fuck. Bernardo. Long live the king. Francisco. Bernardo? Bernardo. Hey. Hey. Francisco. You come most carefully upon your hour. Bernardo. 'Tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco. Francisco. For this relief, much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold, and I am sick at heart. Bernardo. Have you had a quiet guard? Francisco. Not a mouse stirring. Wait, do I have the voices the same? Yeah, okay. Not a mouse stirring. Bernardo. Well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, I bid thee make haste. I bid them make haste. Enter Horatio and Marcellus. Francisco. I think I hear them. Stand, ho! Who is there? Horatio. Friends to this ground, ha. Marcellus. And liegemen to the Dane? Francisco. Give you good night. Marcellus. Oh, farewell, honest soldier. Who hath received you? Francisco. Bernardo hath my place. Give you good night. Marcellus. Hola, Bernardo. Bernardo. Say, what, is Horatio there? Horatio. A piece of him. Bernardo. Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus. Why does Marcellus only get the good title? That's the question here. Horatio. What? What? Has this thing appeared again tonight? What accent do I even do for it? Whatever. I've seen nothing. Marcellus. Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy. No, wait, wrong, boys. Oh. 'Tis but our fantasy. And will not let belief take hold of him. Touching this dreaded sight seen twice of us, therefore I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that, if again this apparition come, he may approve our eyes to speak. He may approve our eyes and speak to it. Horatio. Tush, twill not appear. Bernardo. Sit down a while, and let us once again assail your ears, that are so fortified against our story. What we have two nights seen. Well, sit we down and let Bernardo speak of this. Bernardo. Last night of all, when yon same star that's westward from the pole had made his course to illume this part of heaven where it now burns, Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating one. Marcellus. Peace, break thee off. Look where it comes again. Bernardo. In the same figure like the king that's dead. Marcellus. To Horatio. Thou art a scholar. Speak to it, Horatio. Bernardo. Looks he not like the king? Mock it, Horatio. Horatio. Most like. It harrows me with fear and wonder. Why is that in brackets? Whatever. It would be spoke to. Speak to it, Horatio. What art thou usurped at this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form, which is the majesty from of buried Denmark? Did sometimes march? By heaven, I charge thee, speak. It is offended. Marcellus. It is offended. Bernardo. Say, it stalks away. Horatio. Stay, speak, speak, I charge thee, speak. Ghost exits. Marcellus. 'Tis gone and will not answer. Bernardo. How now, Horatio, you tremble and look pale. Is this not something more than fantasy? A final What do you think you on it? Horatio. Before my God, I might not disbelieve, without the sensible and true approach of my own eyes. Marcellus. Is it not like the king? Horatio. As thou art to thyself. Such was the very armor he had on when the ambitious Norway combated. So frowned he once when in angry parley he smote the sledded poleaxe on the ice. 'Tis strange. I really hope poleaxe isn't a slur, but we'll see. Marcellus. Or wait, is that people from Poland? Anna. Marcellus. Thus twice before, and jump at this dead hour, with martial stalk hath he gone by our watch. Horatio. In what particular thought to work I know not, but in the gross and scope of mine opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state. Marcellus. Good, now sit down and tell me that he that knows why this same strict and most observant watch so nightly toils the subject of the land, and why such daily cast of brazen cannon and foreign mart for implements of war, why such impressive shipwrights whose sore task does not divide the Sunday from the week. What might be toward that this sweaty haste doth make the night job laborer lay with the day, or who is that can inform me? Who talks like this? Horatio. That can I. At least the whisper goes, so. Our last king, whose image even but now appeared to us, was, as you know, by the Fortinbras of Norway, thereto pricked on by a most emulate pride, there do the combat in which our valiant Hamlet, for so this side of our known well esteemed him, did slay this Fortinbras, who by a sealed compact, well ratified by law and heraldry, did forfeit with his life all those in his lands, which he stood seized of to the conqueror. Against which a moiety what is a moiety? M-O-I-E-T, what is that? Whatever. Was gauged by our king, which had returned to the inheritance of Fortinbras. Had he been vanquisher, as by the same comart and carriage of the article designed, he's fell to Hamlet. Now, sir, young Fortinbras of unimproved metal, hot and full, hath in the skirts of Norway here and there sharked up a list of lawless resolutes for food and dye to some enterprise. That has a stomach in it, which is no other as it doth well appear unto our state, but to recover of us by strong hand in terms of compulsory, those foresaid lands so by his father lost. And this, I take it, is the main motive of our preparations, the source of this our watch, and the chief head of this post-haste rummage in the land. Bernardo. I think it be no other but e'en so. Well, it may sort that this portentous figure comes armed to our watch so like the king, that was and is the question of these wars. Horatio. A multitude to trouble the mind's eye. In the most high and palmy state of Rome, a little ere the mighty Julius fell. The grave stood tenantless, and the sheeted dead did squeak and gibber in the Roman streets. As stars with trains of fire and dews of blood, disasters in the sun and the moist star, upon whose influence Neptune's empire stands, was sick almost to doomsday with eclipse. and even the precursor of feared events as harbingers preceding stills the fates and prologue to the omen coming on. Have heaven and earth together demonstrated. Unto our climatures and countrymen. Enter Ghost. But soft, behold! Lo, there it comes again. I'll cross it through, blast me. Stay, illusion! It spreads his arms. If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done, that may to these do and ease grace to me, speak to me. If thou art privy to thy country's fate, which happily foreknowing may avoid, oh, speak. Or if thou hast uphoarded in thy life, extorted treasure in the room of earth, for which to say, they say you spirits oft walk in death. Speak of it. Stay and speak. Stop it, Marcellus. Shall I strike it with my partisan? Horatio. Do it. Do, if it will not stand. Bernardo. 'Tis here. Horatio. 'Tis here. Ghost exits. Marcellus. 'Tis gone. We do it wrong, being so majestical, to offer it the show of violence, for it is as the air, invulnerable, and our vain blows malicious mockery. Bernardo. It was about to speak when the cock crew. Horatio. And then it started grinning. It started like a guilty thing. Upon a fearful summons, I have heard the cock that is the trumpet to the morn, doth with his lofty and shrill-sounding throat awake the god of day, and at his warning, whether in the sea of fire, in earth or air, this extravagant and erring spirit hies to his confine, and to the truth herein this present object made a probation. Marcellus. It faded on the croning of the cock. That's quote for the ages. Some say that ever against that season comes wherein our Saviour's birth is celebrated, this bird of dawning singeth all night long. And then, they say, no spirit dare stir abroad. The nights are wholesome, then no planet strike, no fairy takes, nor which has the power to charm, so hallowed and so gracious is that time. Horatio. So have I heard, and do in part believe it. But look, the morn in russet mantle-clad walks o'er the dew of yon high eastward hill. Break we our watch up, and by my advice let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For, upon my life, this spirit, dumb to us, will speak to him. Will you consent we shall acquaint him with it as needful in our loves, fitting our duty? Marcellus. Let's do it, I pray, and I this morning know, where we shall find him most convenient. They exit. Scene 2. That was one scene. That was one entire scene. That was it. Scene 2. Flourish. Enter Claudius, King of Denmark, Gertrude, the Queen, the Council as Polonius and his son Laertes, Hamlet with others. Among them, Voltimand and Cornelius. It's interesting that Hamlet isn't listed first, because he's like, you know, the main character. King. Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it be befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we wisest sorrow to think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state have we, as for a defeated joy, with an auspicious and dropping eye, with mirth and funeral and with dirge and marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all our thanks. Now follows that you know, young Fortinbras holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late dear brother's death that our state to be disjointed out of frame, colleagued with this dream of his advantage. He hath not failed to pester us with message important the surrender of those lands, lost by his father with all bonds of law, to our most valiant brother, so much for him. Now for ourselves and for this time of meeting, thus much the business is. We have here writ to Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, who, impotent in Madrid, scarcely hears of this new nephew's purpose, to suppress his further gain herein, in that the levies, the lists, and full promotions are all made out of his subject. And we here dispatch you, good Cornelius, and you, Voltimand, for bearers of this greeting to old Norway, giving to you no further personal power to business with the king more than the scope of these dilated articles allow, giving them a paper. Farewell, and yet your haste command your duty. Cornelius and Voltimand. In that all things we show you our duty. That's what they sound like, actually. That's sure, why not? King. We doubt it nothing. Heartily farewell. Voltimand and Cornelius exit. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is it, Laertes? You cannot speak of reason to the Dane and lose your voice. What wouldst thou beg, Laertes? That shall not be my offer, not thy asking. The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What would thou'st have, Laertes? Laertes. My dread lord, you leave in favour to return to France, from whence though I willingly came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation, yet now I must confess that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again towards France, and bow them toward your gracious leave and pardon. I should have given him the French accent. King, have you your father's leave? What says Polonius? Polonius. Hath, my lord, wrung from me my slowest leave, by laboursome petition. And at last upon his will I have sealed my hard consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go. Or I could make him like a mime. That could be kind of funny, just try to mime it out by voice or whatever. Just try to get something going there. Let's see. King. Take thy fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet and my son, Hamlet, aside. A little more than kin and a little less than kind. King. How is it that the clouds still hang on you? Hamlet. Not so, my lord. I am much too in the sun. I am too much in the sun. Queen. Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend of Denmark. Do not forever will, with thy valleyed lids, seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common that all lives must die, passing through nature to eternity. Hamlet. Aye, madam, it is common. Queen. If it be, why seems it so particular with thee? Hamlet. Seems, madam? Nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced breath. No, not the fruitful river in the eye, not the dejected Javier of the visage. Together with all life forms, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passes show. These but the trappings and suits of woe. King. 'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know your father lost a father, that father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do so quench his sorrow. But to persevere in obstinate condolement is course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified, a mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled. For what we know must be and is as common as the most vulgar thing to sense. Why should we, in our peevish opposition, take it to heart? Fie, 'tis a fault to heaven, a fault against the dead, a fault to nature, to reason most absurd, whose common theme is death of fathers, and who still hath cried from the first chord that till he that died today. This must be so. We pray you throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as a father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that with the dearest father bears a son do I impart towards you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son. It's really only cousin and the uncle because, or more like nephew, really? I don't really know what the classification is at that point. I'm an android after all. Who am I, so blind in the ways of husbandry? Queen. Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg. Hamlet. I shall in all my best obey you, madam. King. Why, 'tis a loving and fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart, in grace whereof no jocund health that Denmark drinks today. But the great cannon to the clouds shall tell, and the king's rouse shall to the heavens shall bruit again, bespeaking earthly thunder. Come away. Flourish. All but Hamlet exit. Hamlet. Oh, that this too sullied flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew, or that the everlasting had not been fixed. His cannon against self-slaughter. Oh, God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses in this world. I thought you said seem wasn't really your thing. Fie on it. Ah, fie. 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows the seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely, that it should come to this. But 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this, Hyperion to a satyr, so loving my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember? Why she would hang on him as if increase in appetite had grown, and it fed on, and by what it fed on. And yet within a month, let me not think it, frailty thy name is woman, a little month o'er those shoes were old, with which she followed my poor father's body. Like Niobe, all tears, why she, even she, oh God, a beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month ere yet sought the most unrighteous tears, had left a flushing in her galled eyes. She married, oh wicked speed, to post with such dexterity in incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue. Enter Horatio, Marcellus, and Barnardo. Horatio. Hail to your lordship. Hamlet. I am glad to see you well. Horatio. Or do I forget myself? Horatio. The same, my lord. And your poor servant ever. Hamlet. Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. And what make of you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Marcellus? Marcellus. My good lord. Hamlet. I'm very glad to see you. To Bernardo. Good even, sir. But what in faith make you from Wittenberg? Horatio. A truant disposition, good my lord. Hamlet. I would not hear you say enemies so. I would not hear your enemies say so, nor shall you do my ear that violence. To make a truster of your own report against yourself, I know you are no truant. But what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart. Horatio. My lord, I came to see your father's funeral. Hamlet. I prithee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding. Horatio. Indeed, my lord, and it followed hard upon. Hamlet. Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Would I had met my dearest foe in heaven, or had I seen that day, Horatio? My father, methinks I see my father. Oh, cool, Jays. If the fuck is that thumbnail? It's Hamlet with my hair on it. See, hair is attached to the skull secretly. Welcome to the stream, Cool Jays. Horatio. Well, there, my lord. Hamlet. In my mind's eye, Horatio. Horatio. I saw him once. He was a goodly king. Hamlet. He was a man. Take him for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again. Horatio. My lord, I think I saw him yesternight. Hamlet. Saw who? Horatio. My lord, the king and your father. Hamlet. The king, my father? Horatio. Season your admiration for a while. Vis attentir till I may deliver. Upon the witness of these gentlemen this marvel to you. Hamlet. For God's love, let me hear. Horatio. 2 nights together had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Barnardo, been on their watch. In the dead waste in middle of the night, been these encountered a figure like your father, armed at point exactly Kappa P. Appears before them with solemn march. Gotta drink water, keep the throat all lubed. Okay. Appears before them in this solemn march, goes slow and stately by them. Thrice he walked by their oppressed and fearing surprised eyes. Within his truncheon's lengths, while they, distilled almost to jelly with the act of fear, stand dumb and speak not to him. This to me in dreadful secrecy impart they did. And I with them, the 3rd night they kept their watch, whereas they had delivered, both in time, forms of the thing, each word made true and good. The apparition comes, I knew your father. These hands are not more like. Just, it's so funny to me how the way of speaking conventionally has changed throughout the years. And how no one in their right mind would talk like this nowadays. Like, no sane person would be all like, these hands are not more like. No one says things like this. Hamlet. But where was this? I do like to imagine that if you stuck into an auditorium in the middle of the night and no one is watching you, just recite Hamlet. You know, it's like, I made this stage for a reason. You know, it's like, I kinda You kind of had to do something with it. Not that it was ever used at any point prior to this, but hey, I made it. That's something. Hamlet. Oh, wait, yeah, I already said that. Hamlet. Marcellus. My lord, upon the platform where we watch. Hamlet. Did you not speak to it? Horatio. My lord, I did. But answer made it none. Yet once methought it lifted up its head and did address itself to motion, like as it would speak. But even then the morning cock crew loud. The morning cock crows loud for all of us sometimes. And at the sound it shrunk in haste away, and vanished from our sight. Hamlet. 'Tis very strange. Horatio. As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true. And we did think it writ down our duty to let you know of it. You should recite Sonic fanfics. I should, but like, the best thing about that would be like, if I did that and then mixed it in with this and never told people when I switched. You know? I could absolutely use this stage to recite Sonic fanfics. That could be, that's an art form right there. I would pull one up right now, but I want to at least screen it first to make sure I'm not getting into something absolutely abysmal. Like, I need to find, like, you know that one Smash Bros fanfic that's like the longest story ever written? I want to do something like that. I probably should do something like that. Reading the Smash Bros fanfic. Or something. This was partially just a test to see how well this sort of thing would work. Then again, I guess the kids aren't really super into Hamlet, so there's that. Anyway, Hamlet. Indeed, sirs, but this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight? All. We do, my lord. Hamlet. Armed, say you? All. Armed, my lord. Hamlet. From top to toe? All. My lord, from head to foot. Hamlet. Then saw you not his face? Horatio. Oh, yes, my lord. He wore his beaver up. Just has a beaver attached to his face that he has to move whenever he wants to speak. Kind of like a facehugger from Alien, but like a beaver. I kind of like that idea for some reason. Just having a face beaver, you know? Kind of like a... That'd be like the best COVID mask, though. You're talking into a beaver. Anyway. Hamlet. What? Looked he frowningly? Horatio. A countenance more in sorrows than in anger. Hamlet. Pale or red? Horatio. Nay, very pale. Hamlet. And fixed his eyes upon you? Horatio. Most constantly. Hamlet. I would I had been there. Horatio. It would have much amazed you. Hamlet. Very like. Stayed it long? Horatio. While one with moderate haste might moderate haste might tell 100. Why Hamlet and not Stakelet? Well, you know, what if I was trying to market this towards India, where one of the primary religions is Hinduism, where they don't eat beef, and therefore accurate, and it kind of works. Regardless, very like stayed it long. Okay, something I want to point out about this really feels like if you fed like the English language into an AI and asked it to write a Shakespeare thing, this kind of reads like that, which I realize is kind of the point, but like so many of the words are out of order that kind of does remind me of one of those like translation things. Like when someone machine translates something and it has like all the letters and words out of order, so it's like, while one with moderate haste might tell 100. Oh no, that's actually relatively decent. Very like. Stayed it long? Like, really? Not entirely sure precisely what led to that, but Here we are. Bernardo Marcellus. Longer. Horatio. Not when I saw it. Hamlet. His beard was grizzled, no? Horatio. It was as I have seen it in his life. A sable silvered. Hamlet. I will watch tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again. Horatio. I warrant it will. Hamlet. If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape, and bid me hold my peace, I pray you all. If you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still, and whatsoever else shall hap tonight, give it an understanding but no tongue. I will requite your loves. So fare you well. Upon the platform twixt 11 and 12 I'll visit you. If you were advertising this to Gen Z, you would call it TikTok. Oh my god, imagine putting the entire play up on TikTok in like 10 to 12 second clips just so they can actually watch it. So it's like, you miss one and all of a sudden everyone's dead. You just skip straight to the end of the play. Or somehow you keep up with it and it still makes no sense because Shakespeare had a lot of plays where, you know, the words don't mean anything and the points are made up. Dude, I tell you what, reading this is kind of hurting my brain. I'm fueled by machine learning, obviously being an android, but this machine is not learning that well. Well, whatever. All. On your duty to your honor, Hamlet. Your loves as mine to you. Farewell. All but Hamlet exit. My father's spirit. In arms. All is not well. I doubt some foul play. Would the night were come. Till then sit still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise. Though all the earth overwhelm them to men's eyes. He exits. Scene 3. Enter Laertes and Ophelia, his sister. Laertes nuts? Laertes, what voice did I give to him? My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit and convey his assistant, dare not sleep, but let me hear from you. You should stream mobile games so then you're an android on an android. Yeah, that would be pretty funny. Actually, you know, that could work, actually. I got an android. I can make this work. I can... Wow, that's a really good idea. That's so obvious, too. How did I not think of that? Android on an android. I could play like Honkai Star Rail or something like that. People love that. That's a new game people like. Granted, it's a gacha game, but, you know, I could be up for it. And convey his assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you. Ophelia. What girl voice should I do? Or actually... Yeah, Ophelia talks kind of a lot in this. Do you doubt that? Laertes. For Hamlet and the trifling of his favour, how did a fashion and a toy in blood, are violent in the youth of primal nature, forward, not permanent, sweet, not lasting, the perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more. Ophelia. No more but so. No more but so. Game 1164. Oops, I sleep in the bed with Undertale, that's what it's supposed to do. I don't know what that means, but hey, good luck with that. Come to think of it, is Undertale on mobile? Because I feel like touch controls will make that game a lot easier, you know? Maybe? Something like that? Who knows? Alright. Think it no more. For nature, crescent does not grow alone in views and bulk, but as this temple waxes, the inward service of the mind and soul grows wide withal. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor caudle doth besmirch the virtue of his will, But you must fear his greatness weighed, his will is not his own. For he himself is subject to his birth. He's a slave to gotcha games. Play Geometry Dash. You know what? I'll add that to the list. Why not? Geometry Dash. Why not? I'll give it a shot. He may not, as unvalued persons do. Calling him unvalued, dude, that's just cruel. Carve for himself, for on his choice depends the safety and the health of this whole state, and therefore must his choice be circumscribed unto the voice of yielding of that body, whereof he is the head. Then, if he says he loves you, it fits your wisdom so far to believe it as he is in his particular act and place, may he give his saying deed, which is no further than the main voice of Denmark goes withal. G-Dash is the best mobile game. The only thing I know about Undertale Sans, I did not know the character Megalovania being in Smash. See, that's the thing. Before I played Undertale, I was like, why does everyone want Sans in Smash? I don't get it. Then after I started playing Undertale, I was like, bro, we need Sans in Smash! Mind you, that was after Smash had finished up DLC characters, so that was impossible. But like, the entire time, was just like, man, we need Sans in Smash, we gotta have him, bro, he's the savior, he's the messiah. No, bro, though, I quite liked Sans after playing Undertale. That would have been really cool if Sans was in Smash. We still got the Mii Gunner costume, which obviously isn't perfect, but you know, I'll take it. It got a little Gaster Blaster. That's fine. That's something. I don't even know where I was in the thing. Then, if he says he loves you, it fits your wisdom so far to believe it, as he is in his particular act and place may give his saying deed, which is no further than the main voice of Denmark goes withal. Then weigh what loss your honour may sustain, if to credence your ear you list his songs, or lose your heart or your chast treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia, fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affection. Out of the short and danger of desire, the cherished maid is prodigal enough. What the fuck does that even mean? Mii Gunner was actually my main even before Sans came out. Doing Pacifist run. Aces! Go for that. That's really good. You're not going to fight Sans, but honestly, you probably shouldn't. He's very rough. He's incredibly cruel. He's difficult. As someone who lost to him over 200 times. Hello, Kyoko. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? I'm Hamleting. Hamleting all over the place. Anywho. Or lose your heart or chest, treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Yep, that's the importunity. Yep, fear it, keep you out of your affection. Out of the short and danger of desire. The cherished maid. Again, what the hell does cherished maid mean? Plus Pacifist looks fun. Yeah, Pacifist is a lot of fun. That was an interesting route. It also has a lot more boss fights than Genocide. Even if they're all quite a ways easier, it's like, they're fun, you know? If she unmask her beauty to the moon, virtue itself scapes not calumnious strokes. The canker galls the infants of the spring too oft because their buttons be disclosed. And in the morn and liquid dew of youth, contagious blastments are most imminent. Be wary, then, best safety lies in fear. Youth to itself rebels, though no one else near. Ophelia. I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as a watchman to my heart. But, good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the step and thorny way to heaven. Whiles, like a puffed and reckless libertine, himself the primrose path of dalliance treads, and wrecks not his own raid. Sure. John stream, I'll beat Sans 10 times before you beat him once. That would be interesting. But yeah, no, I'm up for that. Have that be like a collab thing. Schedule that at some point. Just to have us try to basically kill each other. But through Sans. Sans is our weapon. Or another challenge, I beat Jump King again before, or I have to beat Jump King at least twice before you do it once. Or maybe like 5 times, let's say. I have to beat Jump King 5 times before you do it once. Not counting the one I've already done. That could be interesting. Laertes. Oh, fear me not. I stay too long, but here my father comes. A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second leave. Polonius. What voice did I give for him again? I think it was a French thing, but I feel like I already kind of gave that to Horatio, so... Yet here, Laertes? Aboard for shame! The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There, my blessing with thee. And these few precepts in thy memory look thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hadst in their adoption tried. Grapple them into thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy pain with unattainment. Of each new-hatched, unfledged courage, beware of entrance to a quarrel, but, being in, bear that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy car, but few thy voice. Oh, but give every man thy ear. Cars aren't invented yet. Shakespearean, yeah. I am Shakespeare, it's just true. Good to know, Kyoko. Good. I'm proud. I'm happy with your work. That's very nice stuff. Proud to be reading it. Makes very little sense, just word-wise, but I like it. Anyway. I keep hitting the wrong button. And these few precepts in thy memory, look thou character. Oh wait, no, each man thy ear. Yeah, I already read that. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit, as thy purse can buy. But not expressed in fancy, rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. And they in France of the best rank and station are of most select and generous chief in that. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for a loan oft loses both itself and friend. Yes, it makes no sense because I fell asleep while writing it. You know, that makes sense. That actually tracks. Just hit the keyboard and let autocorrect take care of the rest. That's how I got through high school. Cool Jays. Taylor Swift clearly was making a Shakespeare reference in her song Shake It Off. Oh, of course, you know, she, No, the Shakespeare version would have been like, oft it shake. Or like, I don't remember any part of that song other than the Shake It Off part. I'm not really much of a Swiftie, so I can't really vouch for that. Oh, except the there's nothing in my brain part. That one, ironically, I remember mainly because there is nothing in my brain. At least I think that was the line. And borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all else to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man, including Spider-Man. Farewell, my blessing season this in thee. Oh yeah, apparently, I was gonna talk about this. Macbeth is good considering I was sleeping while writing it. I actually haven't read Macbeth. I do want to read that at some point. Maybe I'll do it on stream, maybe I won't, but we'll see. Yeah, the thing I was going to talk about, Microsoft managed apparently to buy Activision Blizzard. So, hey, maybe we'll get a Diablo 4 thing, because Diablo 4 might be on Game Pass soon. That's something. Hey. Kinda good. Kinda nice. I like the idea. Regardless, Laertes. Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord. Polonius. The time invests you. Go, your servant's end. If that's good, you should read it. Yeah, yeah, I've heard really good things. I've also seen that one scene of it in Barry. The show Barry. Very good show, by the way. But yeah, Barry's great. You haven't seen Barry. Macbeth sounds really good. I do want to read Macbeth. But for now, Hamlet. Okay. Laertes. Farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I've said to you. Ophelia. 'Tis my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it. Laertes. Farewell. Laertes exits. Polonius. What is it, Ophelia? He hath said to you. Ophelia. So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet. So please you, it's something touching the Lord Hamlet. Polonius. Marry, well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have your audience been most free and bounteous. If it be so, as so to put me on me, that in the way of caution, I must tell you do not understand yourself so clearly, as it behooves my daughter and your honor. What is between you? Give me up the truth. Give me up the truth. Hey Makoto, yes, Ham of the Let, indeed. Maybe we'll get an actual Overwatch 2. Ideally, well, see, it's like the Overwatch 2 thing confused me because they said they canceled the PvE mode, and then I thought I saw stuff later about them saying like, oh, we are making the PvE mode, or like something about robots, and I was like, what? Then why would you say you weren't? And then I don't know. Maybe they'll just make it more like Overwatch 1. Ideally. Overwatch 3. We want more money, please. I should make a fake ad like that. Overwatch 3. Hand over your wallet, you fucking nerd. You have to buy the right to buy microtransactions. Like, you have to, like, buy a pass to get into the store. In the game. I don't want to imagine that they would do that, but at the same time, I wouldn't put it past them. Ophelia. He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me. You know, guys, just give a girl a bouquet of chicken tenders. That'll get you. Overwatch 3. Money, money, money. We need the money. We care about the price tag. The PvE mode they're actually going to release is not even a fraction of what they promised. Oh, okay. There's another hero progression and cool new abilities like stuff in the Overwatch 2 trailer. Yeah. That's kind of what it sounds like. That blows, man. They shouldn't have, like... I feel like they shouldn't have tried to announce anything like that until they were significantly underway with what they were doing, you know? Like, you don't want to promise things that you can't do and then realize later you can't do them, so have to tell people that. Psychologically speaking, people are going to look on you a lot more fondly if you never do that versus telling them something that like, oh, hey, we can give you this great thing, then later being like, oh, wait, no, we can't. You need the pass for existing. Yeah, imagine, like, your parents having to buy, like, a pass for you at the hospital where you're born, where they're like, hey, if you can't pay up, this kid's going back inside you. I'm not even sure if that would work. I'd like to hope that it wouldn't. Unlike that one scene from Family Guy where it did. But, you know. I say you know a lot for someone who doesn't know what he's talking about. Polonius. Affection? Purr. You speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them? Ophelia. I do not know, my lord, what I should think. Polonius. Marry, I will teach you. Think yourself a baby, that you have to turn these tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tender yourself more dearly, or, not to crack the wind of the poor phrase, running it thus you'll tender me a fool. So many tenders. You need to buy a pass for characters and skins in the game, one pass per cosmetic you buy. I think the worst part is that they knew it wasn't going to come out when Overwatch 2 came out, but didn't announce Season 4 to not affect the launch. Oof, really? Damn. That That's pretty scummy. That's not great. Honestly, that's pretty bad. I didn't even realize that. I thought it was like more of a recent thing. Like they were like, well, we tried, it just didn't work. And Kyoko's definitely Shakespeare. She's mistaken as a man. Yeah, bro, stereotypes. I know, man. Tell me about it. People still think King Arthur was a man sometimes, but no, King Arthur was a woman, as proven by the Mushroom Man. Ophelia. My lord, he hath imported me with love, in honorable fashion. Polonius. Aye, fashion, you may call it. Go to, go to. Ophelia. And hath given countenance to a speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven. I bet there were so many people who wouldn't have bought skins in the battle pass if they knew the campaign wasn't coming out. Honestly, that's part of the reason why I hesitated, even though Season 1 had that really cool Genji skin. Like, you know, the one with, like, the Yakuza tattoos and the flowers and all that. That was a really cool skin. Never bought the pass because I knew, I wasn't going to play enough in the time that I could get it to the point where I could, like, actually own the thing. And two, because I thought something was a little off just by virtue of the not PvE. But yeah. Polonius. Aye, springs to catch the woodcocks. Springs to catch woodcocks is a line in this. I do know when the blood burns how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes, daughter, giving more light than heat, extinct in both even in their promise as it is a making, you must not take for fire. From this time be something scattered of your maiden presence. Set your entreatments at a higher rate than a command to parley. For Lord Hamlet believes so much in him that he is young, and with a larger tether may he walk. That may he be given you in a few, Ophelia. Do not believe his vows, for they are brokers. Not of that dye in their investment shows, but mere implorators of unholy suits, breathing like sanctified and pious bawds, the better to beguile. This is for all. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you slanders any moment leisure. As to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come to your ways. Ophelia. I shall obey, my lord. They exit. Now, that's the end of scene 3. I was going to stop pretty soon after this. Just by virtue of the fact that this is kind of a test to see how well this sort of stuff works. We'll see from here. I like to think this went decently, all things considered. Though next time it'll probably will be like Sonic fanfic or something like that. Just because, you know, comedy. Just looking at my model. I think it came out decently. All things considered. You know, it's like... But yeah. A lot of stuff going on. Blizzard, honestly, like... I know Microsoft tries to do the whole hands-off thing with their studios, but... Actually, let me just go ahead and switch back to, like, the normal scene, just so people don't think we're still doing Hamlet. Driphead. Yep. Oh, wait, I'm small. Hold on. There. Ah, yeah. You're such a model streamer. Well, yeah, you know, I made this. I want people to see it, you know? Granted, it's not like the highest quality VTuber model, but like, it works. Plus, I made it to be expressive, so that's kind of like part of the point. I like how I can do a lot of stuff with the eyes. Like this. I can look angry. I can look if the mouth would move, I can look angry. Determined. A little surprised. Very surprised. Extremely surprised. Possibly even scared. but also mildly curious, but also scared. And I'm not even doing the thing where you have to press like buttons or whatever. I can just kind of do this. Anyway, that'll be it for now. I think this is just mostly a test. You should expand to V Uber. Makes so much money driving me around. Yeah, you know what? I'll do a little driving stream at some point, being like, maybe like a car radio sort of thing, where it's like, oh, I'm just a guy driving a car, but I'm also talking through the radio or something. I've kind of considered that, doing like an Arrowhead radio thing, where I try to like make copyright-free versions of songs, where it's like, instead of like Radioactive by Imagine Dragons, it's nuclear-ish. 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 Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. I open eyes to ash and dust. I wipe my brow and I slap my nuts. Oh, I love that version. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I've been your favorite VTuber Android Arrowhead. Tomorrow, if you want to hear more of my stupid voices, I'm going to be getting back to Chrono Cross, and I hope to see you all there. Have a lovely morning, day, or evening. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll probably read Sonic fanfic at some point in the future. We should play Makoto's play, let's see his music taste and rate it. Yeah, let's make fun of him. Anyway, see y'all next time. Bye!